All right. Do you see the practice exams?
Yes, I see the practice exam.
Okay, so let's go over this finance section right here.
Yep.
And we'll see how you do. All right, first one. Here, read it out loud, and then we'll see when you get the answer.
Subordination clause in a trust deed may allow for periodic regeneration and adjustment in terms of obligation, permit the obligation to be paid ahead of schedule, gives priority to liens subsequent recorded against the property, and prohibit the truster from making an additional loan against the property before the trust deed is paid off. C.
Excellent. Good job.
All right.
Yeah, you just got to remember subordination clause. The second loan takes priority.
Yeah. All right. Now we're situated. The majority of money used for loans of real estate comes from Federal Reserves, co-op savings, government bonds, and individual savings. Majority of money used for loans. Individual savings. D.
Good. That's just like the bank, when people deposit money in the bank.
The term warehousing, as used in real estate financing, means B. Oh, wow. Okay, I thought it was D or B.
No, it's just collecting loans prior to resale. So it's like selling loans in a bulk, like a 6-pack of soda.
To the secondary market, correct?
Yep, exactly. Good.
Okay, good. 6-pack of soda. 6-pack of soda.
It's not literally a 6-pack of soda.
Why would a beneficiary have an appraisal on the property? A beneficiary would do it to make sure the buyer didn't pay too much. It's C, but
Excellent.
It's because I remember the muscle memory. Now,
Okay.
why? I initially what I thought was it was to determine the value of the property, because that's what an appraisal is, right?
It's to make an estimate of the value of the property.
Oh.
Okay. Do you remember what the difference between mortgagee and mortgagor is?
Mortgagee. The mortgagee receives the mortgage.
No. Remember, the mortgagor gives the promissory note and uses that property as collateral, correct?
Correct.
What does that mean, collateral?
That if he doesn't pay the mortgage, he's going to lose the house, and it's the specific lien.
Okay, so then the bank needs to know the house could cover the loan, right?
Yes. Oh.
So now look at this question again.
Okay, so why would a beneficiary have an appraisal to the property? So he would do it to assure the property value is sufficient to cover the loan. But the beneficiary is the one that owns the property, correct?
They're the bank.
Oh, okay, so it's a bank. Oh, okay. I'm imagining a beneficiary as like a friend.
No.
Like the trustor. Oh, okay, so it's a bank. Got it. Why would a bank have an appraisal? Okay, got it.
Okay. Technically, it's anybody who lends money. Just usually that's the bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Beneficiary bank. Beneficiary bank. All right. A veteran purchases a home under the CalVet loan in such transaction. Who holds title? It's A.
Okay, what kind of title is it? Legal title or equitable title?
Oh, got me there. I believe it's equitable title. Because if it was legal title, he would own, the veteran would own the property under himself.
Okay, so legal title is the right to sell. Equitable title is the right to use and possess. Okay?
Got it, right? To sell.
So equitable title is the guy living there.
Use and possess.
Yeah. And
Got
gain
it.
equity. Which is why they say equitable title.
Got it. The APR is defined by the Federal Truth in Lending laws as A, the total cost of which the total cost which the borrower must pay to get the loan. B, relative cost of credit expressed in percentage terms. C, the total of indirect costs of which the borrower must pay. Or D, the total of the direct cost of the credit paid by the borrower. B.
Good.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. The term warehousing used in real estate financing means six-pack soda, which is D. Warehousing.
Oh, sorry, my mom's calling.
No problem.
I mean, just hung up my mom for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One purchase.
Okay. Moms always know how to track you down, right?
Always. Of the following, which is the best definition of a balloon payment? A payment to a prepayment to prevent a prepayment penalty? No. The 10th annual payment of a 30-year loan? No. The required payment of interest that is accumulated prior to the first regular installment? Or D, the required payment of the entire balance due? Interest that is accumulated. I would have to say C. Oh, okay. So a balloon payment, wouldn't an acceleration clause or a due on sale clause be the requiring of a payment due all at once?
Well, first, let's take a step back, all right? Yep. What's amortization?
The deduction in a loan over the period of time.
Okay, there's three types you basically got to know for your exam. Okay, mm-hmm. You have a fully amortized loan.
Okay.
A straight loan. Okay, and you have a negative amortization, and then there's the balloon payment. 4.
Fully straight, negative, and what was the last one?
The balloon loan.
Oh, balloon. Got it.
Okay. Fully amortized loan is very simple. You make payments, and your debt goes down. Okay, interest only, the straight note, you make payments, but your debt stays the same. How's that possible?
Make payments, but your debt stays the same. Well, you're just paying enough to get by, right?
You're just paying the interest.
Yeah, you're just paying the interest.
Okay. Then what's negative amortization? That's where you make payments and your debt increases. So how does that happen?
For example, you have a $10 debt and interest is 20%, but you're paying 10% every month, or you're paying $11 every month. So, right?
You're paying less than the interest.
Paying less than the interest.
So to use your example in more simple terms, you owe $10, you're paying $2 a month in interest, but you only pay $1 a month.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. A balloon payment is what they call a partially amortized loan. Okay? That's when you make that payment. It's like that fully amortized loan, but there's a point where you have to make one big payment. In other words, it doesn't fully amortize in a nice, even downward line.
Mm-hmm.
It like drops off like a cliff.
Got it. Either in the beginning or the end, or does it really matter?
It's designated between you and the lender.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it. When financing a home with a long-term loan, if equal monthly payments are made, the amount of each payment applied to the outstanding principal balance will the amount of each payment applied to the outstanding principal balance, it will A, increase while the interest payments decrease.
Excellent. Good.
Okay. So on a level payment loan, what's a level payment loan?
It's just those equal monthly payments, that straight note we just spoke about.
Straight note. Oh, okay, got it. Straight note. Straight note. An increase in the availability of money would lead to which effect? So more money would lead to D. Interest rates would go down.
Good. Excellent.
Okay. When purchasing with FHA financing, a new buyer would normally do each of the following except B, because there is no such thing as an office.
Okay, so what's the answer? B?
Oh, B, yeah. B as in boy, yeah.
Oh, you said that. Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Remember, what's the FHA?
It's an insurer.
Excellent.
Of a
Good
government
job.
of a government loan, or
Well, they insure loans.
oh, so it doesn't have to be government
Well, they have to be qualified.
qualified. Okay, so they insure qualified loans. Got it. Of the following, which is the best definition of a balloon payment? D. The required payment of the entire balance due.
Good.
Oh, I got a long word problem. Tim sold his home for 30 grand and took back a note for 15 grand with interest of 9% per annum. The note was secured by a first mortgage. The home had a fair market value of 29 grand. Later, he decided to sell the mortgage and note, which he discounted for 13 grand. He then sold it to Eric. On the back of the note, he wrote, "I hereby assign the within note to Eric without recourse." If the maker of the note defaults before any principal payments are made, Eric's best legal remedy is to A. Foreclose or recover 13 grand, foreclose the enforced payment of 15 grand, sue the assignor based upon the endorsee's recover from Tim based upon his 13 grand note. B. Foreclose the enforcement of 15 grand.
Excellent. So that's a really long word problem, but it's really not,
Yeah.
because it really is
Legal.
just saying, like, what you owe is what you got to pay. You know, they're just going after it. So once they said the note is 15 grand, everything else was just nonsense.
Oh, okay. So Tim sold his home. So where does the note?
The note
What
is
is?
the promissory note, what you owe.
Oh, it's a promissory note. I was thinking in terms of straight note.
So when they say 30 grand home, it doesn't matter if it's 30 grand or 500 grand. It matters what the debt is there.
So took back a promissory note for 15 grand with the 9% per annum.
So that's one of those long questions, but it's actually deceiving. It's not as hard as it looks.
Yeah, those are the ones that obviously get me. Let's see, note. A release clause in a mortgage provides for an extended due, allows portions of the property given as security to be released from mortgage. Allows portions of the property given as security to be released from the mortgage upon performance or a specific act. B.
Good. Excellent.
Okay. Given as security. Now, why wouldn't it be D?
Because it releases portions of the property. It's a blanket mortgage covers more than one.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Got it. The term warehousing with regard to a mortgage means making low interest rates, making long-term loans, accepting unsecured loans, selling loans on the secondary market. D.
Good job.
There we go. Okay. Warehousing is like this. Okay, got it. The federal right to cancel notice must be given to a borrower by the agent if the money will be used for business expansion, the borrower's residence is the security for the loan is not secured by the borrower's dwelling, and more than $25,000 is being borrowed, a commercial building is being used for the security for the loan. The federal right to cancel notice must be given to a borrower by the agent. Given to the borrower by the agent. I would say B, as in boy. The borrower's residence is security for the loan.
Excellent. Good.
So why the borrower's residence must be given? So it's pretty much the collateral as
Yeah,
for
there
the
you
loan.
go. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you're getting this. You're going to do well tomorrow. You're
Yeah.
doing well.
I had a dream about PMI. I was studying all last night about FHA loans, and I was watching videos on conventional loans. And I woke up in the middle of the night thinking of PMI and 20%.
Yeah, private mortgage insurance. So explain
Yeah.
that. So you just mentioned that. So tell me what your
Uh,
dream was about. What's going on with that PMI?
so a conventional loan is the most traditional loan where it requires to have 20% down, and if not, you pay a private mortgage insurance.
Good. Excellent.
Okay, which is
Because, yeah,
which is pretty much safety for the lender.
there you go. Good. So if you're borrowing too much, then they're going to say, uh-oh, we need to get that insurance and whatnot.
Oh, now if you're borrowing too little and you're paying the private mortgage insurance, you could stop paying it once you reach 20% of the down payment,
Yeah,
correct?
but don't worry about that. It's getting a little
Okay.
too detailed with it.
Okay. A buyer defaulted on a real property installment sales contract that had been recorded by itself. If a quitclaim deed were to be extinguished to the cloud on the title, it must be executed by the buyer defaulted on a real property installment sales contract. A buyer and seller. Oh, okay.
Buyer only.
Buyer only. Why is that? In the event of a default. So a default means that
They did not make the payments.
the one who loans the money on a parcel of property and secures that loan by means of deed of trust is known as the B beneficiary.
Excellent. Good. So who's the trustor, trustee, and beneficiary?
So the trustor is the one borrowing the money. The trustee is a third party and a friend of the beneficiary, and the beneficiary is the loaner or the lender / bank.
Who has legal title?
Trustor.
Nope.
Oh, beneficiary?
Nope.
Oh, shit.
That's where that third party comes in. The trustee receives the legal title.
Oh, okay. Trustee receives legal title.
Yes, and that's the right to sell. The trustor has equitable title.
Which is
The right to live in it and the right to gain equity.
now what happens in a default? There was a question that I ran across saying that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the beneficiary will notify the trustee, and the trustee will conduct a trustee sale. And they could do that because they have the legal title.
Okay. And then, all right, cool. Yeah.
All right. And at the same time, if the trustor pays everything off, the beneficiary will notify the trustee, and then the trustee will give a deed of reconveyance.
Deed of reconveyance.
Yeah, which gives legal title back to the trustor.
But first, the beneficiary has to request a reconveyance, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got it. The beneficiary of a second trust deed sold his interest in property for less than the unpaid balance of the note. This action is most commonly described as the beneficiary sold leveraging D. Oh, discounting. Discounting is selling a note for an
less.
amount.
Yeah, just think of like a discount.
Okay. The beneficiary of which of the following statements about real estate financing is incorrect? A promissory note is security for a mortgage. The owner of a property who borrows money and signs a mortgage is called a mortgagor. Discounting a note indicates that it is being less sold than its face value. B, as in boy. The owner of a property who... a promissory note is a security for a note. Okay, incorrect. Oh, got it.
Yeah, I gotta be careful of that because we went over. I think you understand the concept about the promissory note and the mortgage.
Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it now.
You just missed that incorrect part.
Yeah, and I do that a lot. I get in such a rush to want to get the answer right, and I look for all these key terms and the answers, and I just kind of miss out on some of the words on top.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right. Let's see. Which of the following statements about real estate financing is incorrect? D as in dog. A promissory note is security for a mortgage. A buyer defaulted on real property installment sales contract that had been recorded by the seller. If a quitclaim deed were to be used to extinguish the cloud on title, it must be executed by the buyer only. Buyer defaulted. Okay.
Good.
Which of these changes would least likely to affect interest rates? New government loan programs aimed at low-income housing in urban areas. A. Erratic spending patterns by government. It's A. Yeah. No, A.
Oh, hey, you're my bad. All right, we'll see
No,
together.
it's okay.
You're right. My bad.
New, least likely to affect it. The beneficiary of a second trust deed sold his interest in property for less than the unpaid balance of the note. This C, discounting, because he's paying less for an unpaid balance. Got it.
Good.
Got it. Joe failed to make payments on his trust deed loan for 2 successive months, and a notice of default has been recorded. He has rights of reinstatement A. Now, go ahead, yeah. Under rights of redemption, it's only when it's foreclosed, correct?
Correct.
When Jones purchased Brown's property on installment sale, he assumed the existing loan, which exceeded Brown's basis in the property. The amount of the assumed loan over Brown's property will be D, treated as part of the down payment whether cash was received or not.
Good.
An installment sale. Now, why wouldn't it be deducted from Brown's basis?
Because it's not part of the initial fee.
Oh, okay. So when Jones purchased Brown's property on installment sale, which is just a regular contract, right?
Yeah.
He assumed the existing loan, so he just took over the loan,
Right.
which exceeded Brown's basis in the property. What is basis in
The
the property?
original cost.
Oh, okay. The amount of the loan. Okay, got it. Which of the following would be considered promotional note? Ooh. Builders finance. B, a short-term loan that allows buyers to purchase property in new development. So the current home. Oh, a loan to develop secured by an improvement property.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see.
Yeah,
Promotional.
just remember that one.
A loan to developer. All right. Which of these changes would be least likely to affect interest rates? D, new government loans.
Good.
Which contract would be most difficult for a buyer to obtain financing? D, a land contract. And the only reason why I picked that is because I know FHA, conventional, and VA are pretty traditional. And I don't really know what a land contract is.
It's when the seller, all right, actually becomes kind of the beneficiary. So so you buy the property from me. Instead of using a bank, you make payments to me as the seller.
Oh,
and I retain legal title and you get equitable title.
Okay, so like a peer-to-peer.
Yes. There you go.
Got it.
Never heard it.
What was that?
Yeah.
Okay. Which of the following would be considered a promotional note? So D, a loan to a developer secured by unimproved property. D as in dog. All right. I'm definitely going to do financing again.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. One last thing. I have
Sure.
a couple notes here.
Okay.
What about the Easton and Strasburger, the Jones versus Mayer, the Alleyquist, that alley thing?
Okay, so here, let's go one by one. Alicus Priolos for earthquakes.
Okay, I remember that.
Jones versus Mayer is the one that gave birth to fair housing.
1968.
Yeah. Easton versus Strasburger, I gotta look that up. I can't remember what that is.
I think that one's discriminating. No.
It all has to do with discrimination, one form or another. I'll have to check that one out for you.
Okay. Let me see. Maybe one last question.
But just remember the Q's in Aliquist. Aliquist Priolo. Aliquist Earthquake.
Aliquist Earthquake. Got it. And then you said on a lot of your webinars, 968, if you see it in the answer, circle it pretty much?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's not always going to be the case, but almost always. It's a pretty good bet.
Okay. And then the township thing. On some of these practice exams, I see a lot of these township questions.
Yeah.
How would I comprehend that? I guess what I'm asking is how many miles are in a township, and how does it...
Did you see the most recent video I did on Facebook?
Was it 15 minutes?
No.
No, I have
a Facebook video. Here, look at my screen. Let me see if I can find it here for you. This one.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
That one.
Okay, I'll check that one out. In just your opinion, what else do you think someone would really need to know on the test?
I mean, everyone always wants me to say, "Tell me what I have to know." It's like that's basically everything.
Yeah.
You have to understand when people ask that, what we do, it's already narrowing stuff down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it starts with a massive book. So what we're going over is already kind of filtering stuff down. And even then, people are like, you didn't cover this or you didn't cover that,
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad there's not that much math on it, like you said. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get my point. This is already kind of narrowed down material.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let me see. One last question, which is going to be, it's just mainly these net income tax questions that I kind of get hung up on.
And the day before your exam, you should really focus on the stuff that's easier.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to spend all day learning stuff that may or may not be on the exam, if that makes sense.
Got it. I
mean, you want to kind of today you really want to nail down your strong points.
Nail down my strong points. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. So what do you recommend I do now?
Vocabulary. And it sounds like you could keep doing the questions too. It's just I don't want you stressing too much about concepts that'll take you more than 15 minutes to learn.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like at some point you gotta wait the day before you kinda gotta wave the flag on certain things.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And just say, screw it, I'm not gonna know it, and if it comes up I'll guess, and that's that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I guess I'll just practice that.
Yeah, and if you do that, and then the other ones, you're like, when I see this, I know exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, I got the financing yesterday, and I'm getting it down pretty quickly, and I kind of understand everything else. So you just suggest that I do practice exam / vocab, right?
Exactly, yep.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Well, I guess, yeah.
And if you need me, just hit me up. We're friends on Skype now.
All right, cool. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.